Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another of my new player videos for LEGO Star Wars Battles. And today I'm going to help you try to figure out the question that I know I wrestled with a lot, which is, what cards should I be upgrading when I get them? Should I just upgrade them all? It looks like maybe I should when I first start. I am now been playing the game about 6 days. Just to be clear, I'm on the 5th world. I got first place in my weekly rating, got the rewards for that. So I have some knowledge, and I've done a little research myself. And this is the conclusion that I've come to. What you're going to have to use to buy these cards are the things called studs up here. I have 1149, so it seems like I have quite a few. I have a lot of cards I could upgrade. I could upgrade this guy for 400 studs, but you'll notice 400 plus 100 is 500. Plus that is 900. Let's go over to the dark side. 900 plus 400 is 1300. Already, 5 days in, I have reached a point where I can't actually upgrade everything. So even if I had the mindset of I'll just upgrade everything, I would already be completely tapped out. And the problem with that mindset is, then let's say when I get 3 more of these IG-88s, I would not be able to upgrade them because I'd be tapped out. So this is the question. What do you upgrade? How do you know what to upgrade? How do you do it? Especially when you're brand new, you start with a bunch of cards that aren't that great. So here's the strategy that I think you should do. Upgrade everything up to like 3. It only costs 40. That's fine. We've got 1100. 40 off that 1100 is no big deal. And upgrading anything does help. If you look up here at base level, this is the amount of health and damage that your base actually does. And it is based on the cards you unlock. So if you don't unlock any cards, your base is going to be 1. So you do want to be unlocking some stuff. You do want to be upgrading some stuff. Also, when you start, like, you're going to have this Stormtrooper in place of IG-88. Do you really want a level 1 Stormtrooper just getting mowed down? No, you don't. So what I did is once I got to the part where it cost 400, I even went to 100 with the Stormtrooper because I was having a really hard time getting IG-88. And so I was like, I want to be able to win battles, be able to do all the things I need to do. So yes, I'll upgrade him up to 100, but I didn't go past that. So that's my suggestion. Upgrade everyone to 100. Then, to figure out who goes to 400, you should be looking at things like tier lists. Or, if you're good enough and you're already able to figure out, like, ooh, this unit is really good. So, like, this guy here, the flamethrower guy. This guy is nuts. Like, he's just amazing. They put out a pile of guys and he comes out and goes and mows them all down. It took me about 2 seconds to realize that dude is crazy good. Whereas the Stormtroopers, you deploy like 3 of them, they go down to the die to like everything. And I'm like, that guy's terrible. The question, though, was like, would the battle droid be something that hangs around? And my research tells me that no, the battle droid's actually not going to hang around and you're going to get better guys. So I didn't even upgrade them to 4 for a while until I realized I wasn't going to get anything else. And this is kind of the push and pull of this whole like waiting to upgrade or not. The light side is an even better example for me. I had these commando guys at level 4 a long time ago. They just sat in my lineup at 4 forever. And every day when I would log on, I'd be like, should I upgrade them? They're so bad. I hate them. But I have nothing to replace them. The Boomba Balls were higher level. I'll show you in a minute how I got those. These guys were higher level. And I don't love the Tauntaun either. So what am I going to do? And looking at the tier list, it was like, all this is junk. Or a lot of it is junk. So should I upgrade any of it? And that's the problem. You have to upgrade some of it, right? Or you will never be able to progress to the point where you can do stuff. So what you're trying to do is figure out, like, what is the priority? So the Boomba Balls for the light side are awesome. They're my #1 priority. I will be upgrading them no matter what. Alongside this thing, the Y-Wing. I didn't even know what it was, actually. The Y-Wing. The Y-Wing's awesome. It's a bomber. The bombers are like face damage if you've played card games before. But except for they hit everything. It's just like, okay, a little damage to this guy. Bam, blow him up. Blow up a tower. Get that last little bit on the base. So the bombers are amazing. The Boomba Balls do something similar. They're amazing. And you sort of start prioritizing, like, what is the order that I would want to upgrade them. So for me, it goes like Boomba Balls, the Y-Wing, then maybe this guy, the Clone Turbo Tank, because it's great at taking down towers. These Porgs, from everything I've read, getting the 1-cost Porg is much better, and you'll find that out as you start. This is the way games start. You both stare at each other as you go up to 10 mana, or 10 resources, or energy, and you're like, what am I going to play? And I end up playing this guy, this flyer guy, right next to my base. He's really slow, kind of creeps up, he can help the base clear stuff out. But paying like 1 cost for a single Porg sounds amazing to me. But I don't have them yet. I might get them soon. I'm finally at a level where I can unlock him. Here he is, this lovely little Porg. 1 cost for 3 Porgs. That sounds so lovely. I can't wait to get them. So because of that, these 3 Porgs are prioritized kind of low, even though they're not terrible. Like, they're not a terrible unit. When every time I play, I'm like, yeah, they're fine. But I know I'm going to replace them, so I'm not going to spend everything on them. As you can see, that hasn't been an issue, right? But it's also an issue with acquiring cards. So we've got the upgrading. You got to figure out, like, what is the sort of the tier order that I'm going to upgrade these in. But you also have this issue. You get to go in here each day into the card shop and buy stuff. So, for example, the Flock of Porgs. Look at this. I should probably just buy these, right? It only costs 200. I could get 5 more. Then I could immediately turn around and upgrade them. That would be a substantial impact on my deck right now. The problem is, I know I'm replacing them. If I'm going to replace them anyway, do I really want to spend like 240 gold or studs? And as we can tell, I'm down to 1149. That's almost a quarter of my available studs. I don't really want to do that, right? And that's where the real tough thing comes in. The same thing with the Ewok glider, right? It would be pretty awesome to have a higher level Ewok glider. You know, I can get an epic, level it up, but it would be all of my resources. I'm looking at that and I'm like, I don't think that's worth it. You know what I did do though, is I spent 400 to grab this AT-AT, and that felt good to me. I spent 400 to grab it, another 400 to upgrade it, and that's why I'm so low on studs, but that's what I'm happy with, because when I go over to my dark side, I think, yep, when I tier those out, we've got IG-88 is near the top, the Bomber is near the top, and also near the top is the AT-AT. And if all 3 of those, along with this Fire dude, if all of those are my 4 best units, and I can put most of my studs into getting one of those leveled, that's well worth it, because that's something that in a month from now, I'm still going to look back at that decision and go, Tiny, smart move. Smart move month ago, Tiny. Whereas 5 days in, you're in like desperation mode, right? And you're like, I don't know what to upgrade. I want to upgrade them all. That's the key. You cannot upgrade them all. You're just going to have to make some choices. But don't be like me. What I did the first 2 days is I got like analysis paralysis, and I was like, I'll upgrade nothing, and I'll just get some more studs. You know what happens when you don't upgrade anything, don't you? You get crushed in every single game. So one of the things that actually motivated me to go ahead and upgrade was the Inspire event, which is gone now. And I realized I'm going to need to have a better lineup for the Inspire event. I did that. I upgraded, and it worked out really well. In the Inspire event, actually, I picked up the Boomba Balls, which was really big and has really helped my lineup a lot. So that's essentially my take on what you should upgrade, when you should upgrade it. Upgrade everything right away to at least 40, maybe 100. I know some of it you won't use later. Don't worry about that. Once you hit 400, that's a real investment. Don't do that unless you know you're going to use them. For the shop, don't buy the expensive stuff if you don't think you're going to use it. And you're probably thinking like, hey, Tiny Grinds, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to use? 2 ways to do that. One, you can use your own play experience and try to figure that out. That's what I did. That's why it took me so long to upgrade anything. The other thing is, just look up some tier lists. I'm sure I'll have a tier list. I'm not making a tier list yet because it's day 5 Like, I want to get more guys. What I am going to do, though, is make 2 tier lists. There's going to be a tier list that is an endgame tier list. And there's going to be a new player tier list. Like, these are the cards you are going to have access to as the new player. These are the cards I had access at 5 days, at 10 days, and tier them out that way. I think that'll be useful. So those are some ways you can figure that out. Let's go ahead and play one game before we head out. We need to boost this particular pack before we get going here. And we did make it to Takodana last night, so that's pretty exciting. On Takodana, we can get BB-8, who is an endgame tier guy, this Porg, who is an endgame tier guy, and the Battle Droid that is an endgame tier guy. And you'll see why they're all 1 cost. And the reason is, it's really great to be able to open the game with these 1 cost units that just kind of like suck people in. Also, if you can make a really good counter and like counter someone's AT-AT with a 1 cost Porg, that's just so different than 3. Resources are just so critically important. So that's why those guys are like end tier stuff. So this is what I do pretty much every game is light side, because it's the cheapest guy I have. He goes kind of slow. They'll usually contest him over here to try to counter him, and then I just immediately build here. And then now, like, they did the same thing. And since they use so many resources over there, though, I get to just throw this thing at him. And most likely, combined with the Boomba Balls, wow, I might actually take out both of these things, depending on how lucky I get here. That would be crazy. And I don't even care. Go ahead. Damage my base a little bit. I'm going to make a whole video called, like, your base's health total. Like, it's like your health total in a card game. It doesn't... You might feel good if you can win the card game at 20 health or max health for whatever card game you're playing, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, you still won or you still lost. It is irrelevant if you won by a tremendous margin or a small margin. That doesn't matter. Let's just throw this Tauntaun at him. Sure, why not? Oh, wow, okay. Especially since he did that. Wow, they're just building everything. Very interesting strategy. Oh, that didn't work that well. Alright. Yeah, it didn't work at all. I basically threw away a whole group of guys sticking it right in front of the gun of something, which is not smart. This is a really weird one where our opponent... I haven't seen an opponent who has so aggressively built towers before this. This is the most aggressive I've ever seen anyone build towers. I don't know what exactly that means. If maybe they're a genius. Maybe they are not a genius. I'm not entirely sure. But it's been interesting. They're spending a lot to defend these things, which is really letting me play offensive, since they're spending so much of their resources on actually building tower after tower after tower, and then so many resources trying to defend said towers. Okay, they're going to get this tower, I think. Wow, they built another tower. Holy moly. I wanted to go on the other side, but I couldn't. They may be able to get my base, actually. There's a chance. Which is a little bit frustrating. Since everything is over here, it's kind of challenging. We're going to go ahead and freeze these dudes. See how that works out. Let's go ahead and drop that. And we'll try to sneak in the win with this Tauntaun. I don't know if that's going to work. Kind of feels unlikely to me that he's going to get in there and get the damage. Oh, he almost did. We almost got it. I think our best way to win this is going to be... Oh, that might be enough for them. I don't know. We'll see. Is to get a bomber. Ah, we were 1 millisecond away. We had the bomber queued up, but they got us. Oh, well. All right. Well, that's your game of the day, and I hope you enjoyed this new player video. What card should you get? When should you upgrade them? And I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.